Januaries tend to be pretty slow in the world of video games. What with everyone still recovering from the holidays and most developers saving their big releases for February and March. And oh boy, do we have a lot of amazing games coming out real soon. Just some real bangers. But that's a whole different video. January this year may have been a little on the lighter side for releases, but that doesn't mean there weren't cool games worth talking about. So we got a few folks on staff together to talk about the games they've been enjoying and would recommend to you. These are the January 2026 games worth playing.
The game I enjoyed playing the most in January, and one that I think you should absolutely check out, is Cairn. It is a really meditative experience that sees you play as a climber who is trying to climb to the summit of Mount Kami. And it's never been done before, and there's a lot of pressure on her to do it, both external, as in she has an agent with sponsors, but mostly they're internal. Her father was a famous climber, she herself is a famous climber, and the whole journey is just full of trials and tribulations, a lot of mental endurance, physical endurance, and even though I have absolutely zero interest in climbing, I think it's scary. I don't know why you would do it. I really found myself enraptured by Ava's story, and at the end of it, I just wanted to get there. I just wanted to climb that mountain to prove that I could do it. Along the way, it is super kind of poignant and quiet and emotional, but at the same time, it is goofy. It's like Quap. She's got limbs going every which way. There are these little nice moments of reflection and calm as you are going up what is at times just a sheer cliff face. There's also some resource management, and I don't think I've ever seen a game where you have a bag full of stuff and you can just like jiggle it around to try and make some room. The resource management is light at the very beginning, but it is so important as you get through the story. And overall, I loved it, and I think you might too.
I've been playing a lot of Code Vein 2 this month, but that's not actually what I'd recommend. In fact, the thing I'd recommend, chances are you probably don't even need to pay for it. Animal Crossing. So the 3.0 update came out this month and it adds a hotel. The hotel is pretty cool. It's very similar to what we already got in the Happy Home Paradise DLC, but it's kind of nice seeing a space like that actually integrated in your island. And you know, it gave me a good reason to check in on Animal Crossing every day, which is something I haven't done in a very long time. And you know what? If you got the $5 laying around, and you want to enjoy those Switch 2 bonus stuff, you can drop $5. I don't know if it's worth it. I don't know if it's not worth it. It's cheap, $5. I think that's the cheapest upgrade they've done yet. But yeah, Animal Crossing. It's been the game I've been coming back to pretty much all month. And look who I got here. Come on, zoom in. Zoom in. You gotta see this. Oh shit, that's not Tulin.
One of my favorite games that I played this month was Big Hops. It's an indie platformer starring a cute little frog named Hop. It's very cute, it's very cartoony. The voice acting is very on point with that sort of cutesy, cartoony style.
Wowee! Such a colorful bug.
It is a platformer in the vein of Mario Odyssey. Yeah, there's a big emphasis on the hops, the jumps, and how they can sort of segue neatly into a slide, and then you can bounce back up. It's all very smooth and fluid. It's also surprisingly difficult at parts. You can make it through the campaign doing mostly fairly simple challenges, but if you want to go look for the harder challenges, they are there and they will test your skill. It's all physics-based, with things like swinging from your grappling hook, which is your tongue, and doing the belly slide to pick up momentum. It's also got a little bit of like immersive sim elements. There are parts of the game that feel like you're kind of cheating your way through, and it's a little hard to draw the line of what is actually cheesing the game versus them just giving you the tools and letting you use them. One of the major elements is these different types of seeds that have different effects on the world, and they're littered throughout worlds to let you like navigate within that world, but also there's very few limitations to where you can take them because you have a backpack that can store them. So you can always visit one world, grab some seeds, take it to a different world, and just like use it in ways that may or may not have been intended, and sort of cheese your way through that way. So there's a lot of like flexibility in these systems to figure out your own solutions, and especially in the end game, once you can sort of travel back to any world you want on a whim, there's a lot more room for experimentation like that. So that's why I love Big Hops. It's definitely worth checking out if you're into platformers, and especially ones that have a lot of personality and a lot of flexibility to kind of make your own fun.
I'm John Luke, and my January game I want to recommend is Pathologic 3. Although recommend might be an odd choice of a word. To be perfectly honest, I think Pathologic 3 is a brilliant, strange little game that is also extremely frustrating and obtuse in all the ways that the Pathologic series has always been, to the point where I think a lot of people actually would not really like this game. I'm not even sure if I like this game, but I cannot stop thinking about it and attempting to delve deeper into this game. For those of you who aren't very familiar with Pathologic, it is a first-person action-adventure type game where you go around a fictional city that has been infested with a horrible plague. It has like a day system structure. It has characters that you talk to, characters that can die depending on what you do and don't do for quests. What makes Pathologic 3 really fascinating is it has time travel as a mechanic. So you have this entire web that spreads out and shows you all the different choices that you can make and the consequences of what happens when you do and don't do those things on certain days, like character deaths or certain buildings being inaccessible to you. And then you have the ability to travel back to different days to change what you did to correct the outcomes. It's a really cool concept that can be really hard to get into thanks to a lot of the game's very kind of like obtuse and sometimes frustrating mechanics. Take a look at the game, see if it piques your interest, and give it a shot. Because if you can get into it, it is one of the most just like unique, interesting games you could possibly play this year.
Hey, what's up everyone? It is Tamor. My January game is called Mio, Memories in Orbit. I know everyone's still riding the high of Hollow Knight Silksong, but this is a Metroidvania that is a little bit different. Firstly, it looks beautiful. It's got this painterly style and it's very lo-fi vibes. You don't get much like action style music in it. The game is trying to make you relax a bit. However, the gameplay is quite severe at times. It's a Metroidvania that is pretty stingy about giving you new power-ups, and even when it gives you new power-ups, there's like a limit to how many you can actually install, because your character Mio is like a little robot. Your job is to try and save as many memories as possible. There's a push and pull between you and the game where you'll get a little move, like you can do like a double dash now, for example, but it will make the instances where you then have to use that very, very tricky. Lengthy like platforming sections, and in combat, your combat is very, very basic. So far I've only got a 3-hit combo, haven't had anything more. My final hit does a little more damage, but it means that pretty much every boss fight you have to be perfect. Kind of like Silksong, but I think Silksong has this kind of like empowering effect where you get more stuff as you go along, you feel more capable. That never happens in Mio, which is unique and different. It's like a D-power fantasy almost. I know a lot of people won't like it. I think some people will really love it though. It's definitely worth checking out.
Let's talk about Highguard. I think the set piece at the center of Highguard, the battle over the shield breaker, the attempt to either defend against or perpetuate your own raid, is really strong and can lead to some very intense moments, leaving a lot of different things puckered. No two matches really play out the same way. Sometimes you get steamrolled with the opposing team planting the shield breaker and planting the bomb at your anchor stone, securing a victory for them immediately. Some games play out really long where you're trading off points and all it takes is one plant of the shield breaker to secure victory for one of the teams. The ways that the different matches can evolve is pretty interesting and unique. While I don't think the beginning flow of the game where you're gaining resources via chests and hacking away at this resource called Vesper is the most compelling, there are ways that that could be addressed, and clearly the studio Wildlight has playtested a bunch of different things, including the 5v5 mode, which they added only days after the game's launch. The studio has since said that that mode has become popular enough that they are going to make it a permanent fixture of the game, and I do believe that the 5v5 mode is way better than the 3v3 mode that the game launched with. So hopefully the team can take some of those other ideas that they playtested, tinker with them, and put them into the game, because I think there's a really strong foundation here. I really hope Wildlight is able to stick it out and really evolve this game, because I think it totally has the potential to be a unique and compelling FPS in the genre.